A beautiful blast from the past. And an extremely rare one at that. Christoph Bauer is driving a piece of automotive history. The Porsche name is displayed proudly at the back, but this car was built in Thun, Switzerland, not in Porsche's hometown of Stuttgart. Christoph explains that when the auto industry was in its infancy, cars were made by hand. The big manufacturers only provided the chassis, the engine, and the fittings. Customers had to order the body individually from a coach maker. By the 1950s, this practice was rare, but the Beutler firm from Thun, Switzerland, continued to do excellent body work. One example is this wonderful coupe, a 1957 Volkswagen Porsche Beutler 696.
Aus dem Jahre 1957.
Ernst and Fritz Beutler had already established contacts at Porsche back in 1948. 6 of the very first Porsche's 356s had bodies made by the Beutler brothers, including the oldest series production Porsche still in existence, car number 003. But the coach makers had aspirations of their own. An elegant coupe with 4 seats and superior engineering that drives like a sports car? Impossible? No, said Ernst and Fritz Beutler. They acquired the chassis of a VW Bug and began to hammer out a suitable body. And this was the fruit of their labor, the Porsche Beutler 696, a real eye-catcher. The body of the Beutler Porsche 696 was made entirely of aluminum. While this material was difficult to work with, the Beutlers had used it before in specially commissioned jobs from luxury brands such as Bristol, Lancia, Packard, and Salmson. Christoph explains that the Beutler brothers founded their own coach-building business just after World War II in the little Swiss town of Thun. At first, they specialized in repairing vehicles damaged in accidents, but they were soon attracting well-known customers, including Ferry Porsche.
Ein gewisser Ferry Porsche.
So it wasn't hard for the Beutlers to get this particular 4-door coupe fitted with an engine that normally powered Porsche's sports cars. The other Beutler 696s used a reliable and cheaper mass production engine provided by Volkswagen. Most Beutler coupes were powered by the VW Beetle engine, explains Christoph, with a Judson compressor providing extra performance. But that wasn't enough for this car's first owner. Hear that sound? Right, that's Porsche's engineering in the back, Christoph says. The 4-cylinder Boxer engine generated 75 horsepower and pushed the coupe to a top speed of 165 kilometers an hour. Just the thing for those looking to live life in the fast lane in the late 50s. Though it's a product of the 1950s, the Beutler's styling is coolly understated. But then the Swiss do like to remain neutral. The only extravagant feature is the mock radiator grille, because, in fact, this car's engine is in the rear. The interior's monochrome color scheme looks smart. With a radio from Blaupunkt and high-quality leather upholstery, the Beutler Porsche was both luxurious and suitable for everyday use. The trunk at the front can hold quite a bit more than just a golf bag. And here at the back is the legendary Porsche Boxer engine from the 356A. Its twin Zenith carburetors allow it to generate 75 horsepower. This engine alone cost 3,600 Swiss francs, more than the standard VW one. But Christoph says it's worth every centime. Flitting between the classy old resort towns of the island of Rügen, the Beutler Porsche is really in its element, because in its day, only the rich could afford to own one.
Fast 20.
Christoph says in 1957 this coupe sold for almost 20,000 Swiss francs, as much as 4 standard VW Beetles. But exclusivity has its price, and the Swiss could afford the better things in life. Still, Switzerland is a small country, so just 4 of these coupes were ever sold. Ernst Beutler kept the 5th one for himself and drove it until the 1990s.
Bis in die 90er Jahre.
Just 5 of these upscale cars were ever built using engineering borrowed from Porsche and Volkswagen, and a hand-hammered body from a small Swiss coachmaker. So, can the Beutler coupe really qualify as a milestone in automotive history?
Die Gebrüder Beutler
The Beutler brothers were the first in Europe to make a 4-seater sports coupe with outstanding driver characteristics. It would be many years until cars like the VW Scirocco, Ford Capri, and Opel Manta introduced the idea to the masses. So for that reason, Christoph feels the Volkswagen Porsche Beutler is definitely an automotive milestone. And the Beutler coupe is also one of the most beautiful cars ever built. What a shame that the tradition of making car bodies by hand is slowly dying out.